All right, hey, welcome to Blackhawk TV. For those of you that have found the link, please let your friends know that there's a new link.
We see it, but there's no marker or anything like that.
Okay, so I'm hoping that you guys can hear me at this point. For whatever reason, our streaming app is not connecting. It's a good take by Cal Smith. Our streaming app is not connecting directly to YouTube. The app will shut down whenever we try. So we had to go kind of through a back way to connect. So it is still YouTube. It shouldn't be any different for the viewers. However, the link that we posted that the game would be broadcast through, that is not going to work. So please spread the word. I cannot post the link to YouTube because sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Cal Smith hits a 3 to give the Hawks an 8-3 lead. The computer that we use to watch our stream and do the chat is connected to the high school public Wi-Fi, which does not allow Facebook. So long story short, I have a lot of devices in front of me, but I can't connect the devices to each other. So if you could just spread the word that this game is on a different YouTube link, that's where it'll be for the duration of the night. We're not going to mess with it. Hopefully we can get it resolved here by tomorrow. I'll give Sling Studio a call. So welcome to JV boys basketball. Amery visiting Baldwin Woodville. Okay, we're in the West Gym at Baldwin Woodville High School on a Thursday night. Blackhawk TV bringing it to you live. I'm Jeremy Nygaard. Zach Ambrose on the camera. Jordan Lehman.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Not too bad. I'm glad that we've got such smart staff here, not including me, getting everything figured out. It was fun watching you and Ambrose, do your wizardry, and here we go.
Yeah, well, something like that. Anyway.
Hawks with an early lead, a little over halfway through, not early lead, a little over halfway through the first half. First half's gone a little bit quick. Not a ton of scoring, only one foul, so the clock's been running quite a bit. But the Hawks prevailing currently. Cal Smith, Sam Hush, Cale Blocker, Mason Werner, and Sean Van Someren in the game. Last time Sean Van Someren was on this court, he threw down, which is a ton of fun, last week.
I encouraged him to do so again.
Absolutely. I told him in the weight room on Monday that it's really nice for Coach Ashland to kind of spread that knowledge of how to do that. And
right.
that Bruce has done that so far to Sean is it's a neat thing, because obviously Coach Ashland is a high flyer in his own right.
Absolutely.
Foul's going to go on Amery 31.
I mean, the rumor may or may not be true that hoops when Coach Ashland played were 8 feet, and they actually moved them up because of all the damage that he did as a dunker.
JV games were 7.5, so he started as a freshman on JV and would just, windmills, post rim people, and now the next step in reality for Sean, being such a springy young man, is something that we never really could quite figure out with Warwick, is just to be able to drop step, two-hand, just elevate right away. Don't wait for the defense to give you a wide open lane, but choose to just attack the rim. And I think that's something he'll develop. I do.
Yeah, to do it in traffic too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe traffic isn't the right word, but there was definitely a contest. Was very impressive.
Absolutely.
Cale Blocker, I'm not sure if he played Tuesday against Rice Lake, but he's making his return to action in the BWS gym after suffering a broken nose.
Right.
There may be some debate about whether it happened in practice or his dad, Randy, my cousin, was roughhousing with him, and in my mind, Cale had him on the ropes, and then Randy had to fight dirty to.
Is it true that Randy and Gabe Seiler's dad played basketball together? or like graduated together?
Well, Randy went to school here. They were
Oh,
friends.
okay.
Yeah, they were
Because
friends.
I know that the families are friends, but
Yeah.
I for some reason I thought I heard that they played with each other. But obviously, I'm not sure where Gabe's.
Fun fact. I went to a camp. I don't know if it was like a church camp or something when I was middle school age. And Randy and I believe it's Ron Seiler,
Yep.
and then one of their other friends thought that they would play the middle school kids 3-on-3, and then just ran us.
Absolutely.
I mean, I recall this happening.
Yeah.
So we don't talk about that.
My dad played in open gyms in and around Baldwin for a number of years when he started teaching here, and he played with Ron quite a bit, and he said that he's one of the better players he's ever played with.
Yeah. So question is, does that make Caleb my second cousin? That actually makes Caleb my first cousin once removed. My children and Caleb would be second cousins.
Was that a legit question in the chat?
That was a legit question from Ambrose.
Hawks up by 5. Approaching 6 minutes left in this first half of the JV game. Young Locker will get called for the reach there. Haven't watched these JV boys on the road much this season, but I believe that they've had a successful year so far, playing a combination of juniors, sophomores, and freshmen, all playing significant minutes. And this is the next group up for Coach Benoit, and it's no secret that Coach Benoit has been running really, 6 to 7, some games more 6, and has a lot of kids that start the game and really never come out. So this group that plays JV under Coach Ashland is a very big deal to this program. They've made some significant strides this season. They work extremely hard in the off season, so it's gonna be fun to see these guys develop.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna try to get.
Okay.
There's 5 people waiting on the other link, so you can keep talking. I'm gonna try to.
Well, I had an interesting. I guess we could just start a segment called Stories from Open Gym. But I had an interesting scenario last night where I was guarding somebody and they fumbled. They had possession of the ball and then fumbled the ball, and then rather than picking it up and being dead where they sat, because they lost it by themselves, they intentionally rolled the ball backwards 2 or 3 times and then picked it up. And I go, and I instinctually, just because it looks like a travel, I instinctually go, that's travel. And then I go, I guess I don't know it's travel, so I naturally look to Nick Pack,
Right.
and he's like,
Whoa, stop.
He says, no. He didn't. I mean, it was in the middle of a game, and I didn't want the game to stop. But then I talked to him afterwards, and he said that technically you could tip the ball down the court
Correct.
the whole way as long as it's not intentional. But I was curious, what would intentionally doing that be called? Would that be, because in football, that's unsportsmanlike conduct. If you were to, it's a fumble and you kick it unintentionally to recover it. In basketball, if I inbound it to you and you just tip the ball up the court, you're not possessing it, you're not dribbling it, obviously. It's an interesting little thought, but this guy was rolling it on the court. He was just rolling it to himself over and over and over again.
So was he had no dribble.
Correct.
He dropped it without it being touched?
Yeah, so he ripped it through. I didn't touch it, but it hit his leg, rolled, bounced.
So he used the dribble prior to that?
Yeah. Yep, I believe so. Yeah, because he was dead.
And if you didn't touch it,
Correct.
and he drops it, as soon as he possesses the ball, it's a violation.
Okay.
Right? I mean,
well, because it wouldn't be a dribble though. You know what I mean? Like, if he were to truly lose possession and then pick it up. He could possess it there, but he couldn't. It's the same thing we talked about last week with Nick, I think, where he was dribbling, went to pass it, fumbled it, and then is able to pick it up.
Different, in my mind.
Then dribbling, losing a dribble, ripping it through, losing possession.
Regaining possession.
Regaining a possession.
Violation.
What would the violation be called? I'm curious. Would that be...
Well, I mean, I think when the ball hits the ground the second time, what an official do is open palm, travel other way, make no eye contact with anybody, just do it with conviction.
See, that's what... And I wasn't trying to... Just because you there's not a ton of good hills to die on at open gyms when it comes to fouls or violation calls, so I just let it go. But I was like, I've never ever seen somebody roll the ball consistently, intentionally, to give themselves an advantage.
Yeah. 10-7 here, Blackhawk lead.
And maybe, you know who's looking... You know who we're lined up right across from right now is official Jeremy Werner.
Where's he at?
I mean, he's straight across from me. Looks like he's on the phone.
Oh, sure enough. He's calling me. No, I'm just playing. Should we mention Jeremy Werner by name?
Well, the thing with... I mean, I got to know Mason quite a bit because he was my JV quarterback this fall, is that... you know, I've kind of last year playing open gyms with Jeremy Werner, like getting to know him, and then kind of talk to him this fall. Like, what I'm curious about is who can throw the football farther, Jeremy Werner or Mason Werner?
Well, I mean, Mason Werner can throw it 70 yards.
Maybe 75, and so, you know, is that something that he got from the maternal side of the family? Is that a fraternal trait?
All of Mason's good traits came from Sue. I think that's obvious. But I think what's most important in this conversation is if Cindy Feedy, super fan, is watching.
Good steal by Mr. Guthrie.
If we win a prize for mentioning the name Werner at least a dozen times there. I think what Jeremy Werner said to me was that would be shots fired, but it may have also been shots taken. I'm not sure.
That was a strong move there by Clay Lorenz. Something I like to see him do. He's a strong kid. He's a tough kid. He played offensive line in the Middle Border Conference all fall, which is not an easy thing to do, especially when you're 160, 70 pounds. So it's fun to see him have some success in the basketball court. He's so super fun to coach, Clay. He started playing basketball pretty late in his athletic career.
I don't believe he played when I coached 7th grade. I think he came over as an 8th grader.
Right, and so some of the skill development stuff, you know, he's worked real hard at, and that comes along with time and with work. But athletically and effort-wise, you couldn't ask for anything else.
That's true.
Right now we've got freshman James Borkhardt, sophomores Reese Guthrie and Elijah Heimer, and juniors Clay Lorenz and Sam Hush. Good to see Elijah Heimer out there. I think he was out for a little bit.
Yeah, we've had a couple guys missing some time. Obviously, Mason missed it with the wrist, and Caleb with the nose, and Heimer, I think, had an ankle. And the season, I mean, this season to me seems like it's obviously it started way late, but has really flown by. Now maybe it's different for the players who have played now only their 3rd home game tonight. But that's a weird thing with basketball is, you know, you typically start in November, early in November, and then you have the Thanksgiving break. You have Thanksgiving break, you have Christmas break. January always feels extremely long. And then, you know, you turn the calendar to February, and it's a 4-week month. It's such a short month, and you're playing the playoffs at the end.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those, you know, you with experience coaching football as well, when you coach football, there's a number of things that make it very, very easy to keep track of like not time, but just like what's the situation of the season, right? Because every win is so valuable, and every loss is so devastating that it's week 1, week 4. You understand where you are in the conference pretty much all the time. You understand where you are playoff picture all the time. And in basketball, you mentioned a couple weeks ago a really good point that most kids literally have no idea how many games every other team has won.
Nope.
And may not know how many games their team has won.
Nope.
And for people like maybe you and I, who we've always kind of cared about, or just been interested in standing statistics, how people and how teams measure up. Even as a kid, I did know. That was just something that I was a Wii Sports nut, but most of these kids probably couldn't tell you how many games they have left.
Right.
Within plus or minus 2.
And one of the things, having gone through it, I mean, we weren't great my sophomore year, and then my junior year we really struggled at the beginning of the year, and then went on a winning streak. If you're not winning games, you know how many wins you have, but you have no idea how many losses you have. My senior year, we were fortunate we started out the year kind of rough, 2-2. So it was that's just about good there at the end of the half. But we were 2-2 a week and a half into the season, and so it's around Thanksgiving, and we didn't lose another game till February, which makes the season go by extremely fast. You lose count of how many wins you have because it's just every game was a win. I mean, we were 2-2 and didn't lose again until our second to last regular season game. You win 14 straight games.
Right.
That's just a lot of fun.
Now, how many in those last 2 seasons of yours? How many conditioning drills did you lose?
0.
Right. And you know that.
Oh yeah. Well, I wasn't going to lose in anything.
Who was second? Like who was there like a young kid, like a sophomore maybe, or a freshman that was like, oh man, he can actually hang?
Well,
was there a guy in your grade that could always was he biting at the heels?
I mean, no. Here's how it works. And you got to see this while coaching. There's like I didn't win every single heat because there's sophomores that dog it.
Right.
And then at the end, they got all the energy. There was a kid like that. I'm not going to name any names. He was a JV player, but when we come together, and he was second to last all the time. So what you do as a senior leader is you call that kid out early and say, hey, you're not gonna come in second to last and then be the big dog and start winning these heats. So you got to kind of
right
early make it aware that we all know what's going on. The coaches aren't going to say anything.
Right.
Coach Lebecki had a name for those guys on the football field. They were Thursday Night All-Stars.
Right.
Because they knew what was coming in scout team, and then they'd make a sack.
Well,
and
Rose Bowl, Rose Bowlers.
And then they'd flex on people. And
what's funny is I remember my sophomore year, I played a little bit of varsity, but mostly just in practice, mostly just scout team. And I remember making a tackle and thinking on scout defense and thinking it was tackle for loss, and I'm like, I'm the second coming. Like this is. And then I get up and I'm expecting congratulatory efforts by maybe Coach Kiefer, maybe even yourself, and it's just everybody that matters being mad, and no attention towards me.
Who'd you tackle?
I believe it might have been Derek, who I played with. It might have been Derek, or it was a faster. Did Coltrane take any snaps early on offense?
Well, you said faster, so.
But no, because that's the thing. Coaching, you realize that there are kids who don't figure. Because from that point on, I figured out, I'm a means to an end. I am not the end, right? And there's a lot of maybe people that don't figure that out. But we're gonna have a little intermission here.
I just wanted a quick shout out, thank our sponsors here at Blackhawk TV, A-Star, American Family Insurance, Firehelm Langer, Timmerman Realtors, St. Croix Garage Doors, Wisconsin Credit Union, CW Garage Door Distribution, Nielsen's Foods, Village Pharmacy, Bridge Investment Group, Precision Excavating Enterprises, Precision Truck Service, Danmar Systems, Culvers of Baldwin, Progressive Dairy, Schaefer Financial Services, Blackhawk Garage Door, O'Connell Funeral Homes, First Bank of Baldwin, Baldwin Lightstream, Strikers Lincoln Sports Bar, and Anytime Fitness. Thank you to all of the sponsors. So, quick recap of our week. We had a girls game here Monday. Everything went swimmingly. Beat the River Falls Wildcats in a game that was close throughout, and then we pulled away. We came back then for a Tuesday night game against the Amery Warriors girls. The varsity game was canceled prior to Tuesday, so plan was to just do a JV game. The internet at the high school was out, so we did our best to stream that game, but it was not great. Our signal strength was poor. Get here tonight, signal strength is great. Feel good about everything. We're gonna do a game. The process to go live on our app is, well, first we connect to the internet, and then we go through all these different steps, and then we click a button that says go live, and it asks us to select a destination. Well, I've already preloaded all these links into the app, right? And so every time I would click on YouTube, the whole app would shut down. So we updated the app, we turned it off, we turned it on, we did not restart the Sling Studio, which maybe we should have done. But one of the other options is to go live on Facebook. I didn't want to do that. And then there's one that's just basically gives you a destination that you can set it to, that I was taught actually by our St. Croix Central live stream team. And so I could go to YouTube, but it just generates its own random URL, and then it shows up. So if you are watching, and there's a few dozen of you, if you are watching and you know other people, don't check the chat, because I did put it in the chat of the other game. But if you know that there's people that don't necessarily look at that, please just give people a heads up that watch. If you connect people through Facebook, just post this new link, because that's going to be the easiest way to spread as to word of mouth or social media. And I'm just limited in what I can connect to here in the booth, because Facebook's apparently blocked, which is fine. I don't really spend a whole lot of time on Facebook anyway, but if you could spread the word for us so people that are watching around the globe can find it, that would be fantastic. Secondly, as we're speaking around the globe, and we'll give this shout out later, Keegan Ofsty, junior forward sharpshooter this year, has a family friend, Doug Hovey, who is a fan all the way from Vietnam. So shout out to Doug for watching. I asked Keegan, I said 5-3 tonight, and he said no, 7. So we're hoping that we all get to see Keegan knock down 7 threes.
Right.
Anyway, that's what we got for today. I mean, we can talk Robin Hood if you're into it.
We could talk Robin Hood. It was a week ago, and I thought, what do I haven't done this in a while, but where do I get video games from, right?
Okay.
And usually, it's just a digital download thing, but sometimes you're just like, you know what, you got to go get the physical copy. And one of those places that I went to for years was GameStop.
Okay.
And apparently, with the help of Reddit, maybe a Reddit thread,
Yeah.
GameStop has gone, I don't know exactly the percentage, and maybe
700% at one point.
Right. And so what that means is that the yield is good.
Right.
In
So,
layman's terms. So
Jordan layman's terms.
right. And so, I mean, now what Robinhood is putting a hold on or at least a limit.
So GameStop and AMC is where it shut down, but the power is in the numbers here, and the numbers are people, not necessarily dollars, right? So people that run hedge funds and have dollar power, not necessarily people power, basically borrow to buy and then sell to make money. And these Reddit people have located these stocks that have a lot of borrowed money out on them and bought, which is forcing people with not necessarily number power but money power to then purchase stocks that they were going to buy at a loss. And regular people, where there's numbers of them, make the money. Billionaire people lose the money. So now the the fun part is there's this cryptocurrency called Dogecoin, which was started as a meme, and trading for fractions of a cent. And when there was no sports, I was like, I got to do something. Let's invest. And so I'm doing all right today on account of people that want to have Dogecoin. So is Ambrose. So is our friend Eric Holland. Because it's crazy right now, and it's and the thing that I was reading today was like, here's what's happening, but with a lot of things, you know how it's going to end.
Absolutely.
And you know when it's going to end, and with this, there's no rhyme or reason to how or when this is going to end.
Right. I mean, finding the loophole and then getting literally millions of people to help exploit the loophole. I am not a financial person. I don't pay attention to this stuff much at all, but I'm assuming this is somewhat unprecedented, if not entirely.
Yeah.
Because the ability to spread information is exponentially easier and easier by the year, by the day, and so getting all of these people to be on the board with something that quickly, and then doing it, and then seeing it in real time, talked about on
live streams all over the world.
Right. It's really
well.
interesting.
This crypto that when I purchased it was 0.4 of a cent, is now selling at over 4 cents. Which that means the money that I put in is now worth 10 times as much. Which is fantastic. What's my end game? My brother just asked me. I don't know. Something about
you'll probably your financial advisor, your personal financial advisor,
which is me,
being Jeff Campbell. You'll probably just send out, maybe fax his office, and he'll fax you back with his advice.
Yeah, no, something about 50 cents and something about if they hate, then let them hate and watch the money pile up. I mean, that's who I take my financial advice from. And Ambrose is buying more right now. Woke him up this morning. I said, Ambrose, buy crypto. Hawks lead here 21-9, 14 minutes left. The boys played Tuesday night at Rice Lake. I believe it was varsity only. Rice Lake is in the Big Rivers, struggling a little bit, but they will probably win their region and have a team that's on the upswing. And I did not get to watch a lot of that. Was not legal. I did not get to watch a lot of that game. I caught a little bit of the post game stream. Didn't appear like we really had it wasn't real close throughout. It didn't sound like. Keegan had a really nice game. I think he had 5 threes, ended up with 19. So it'll be nice to see here how we rebound against the Amery Warriors, who got their first win in, I believe, 33 conference games. Does that sound right? Or 33 overall games?
Well, they got their first conference win this season since the 2018-2019 season. I'm not sure how many games. They actually just won a game by 20 or more points for the first time in over 2 seasons.
Who'd they beat?
Boyceville by 20. It was 22 or 24.
Okay.
So Amery at 2-9 overall, 1-7 8 in conference is in 7th in the middle border behind, or in front of Osceola, who was their conference win. They won 31-29 against Osceola, and then with their second overall win, they had a obviously that 20-point win over Boyceville, which I was going back, and it's been over 2 seasons since that's happened, so that probably felt good, particularly for Coach Lumen to be able to actually take a deep breath on the sideline. So
yeah, they beat Osceola by 2 in a very, very low-scoring game, and they're going to be not in our region. They must have gone north, huh?
I believe that they're with Rice Lake.
Yeah. Yep.
And Osceola.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. So I don't know if you followed the WI had a Board of Controls meeting last night or yesterday. So they approved New Richmond's move to the Big Rivers, which will in turn bring somebody into the middle border. Could potentially be Rice Lake, could potentially be Altoona at this point. Neither team overly thrilled at the prospect of joining the middle border, just because it would be a lot of travel for Altoona, and for Rice Lake it would be you just got a 2-hand flush that, Shawnee.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Good finish though. Really good find.
Rice Lake, they aren't thrilled at the idea of coming and playing a bunch of schools smaller than what they've competed, because they've competed in the Big Rivers for many years in many sports. But one of the funny things was, schools can appeal certain things, and the Unity School District, formerly of the middle border, was appealing something with the new playoff format. And Travis Wilson of Wisforts was talking about how, I don't know what exactly they would be appealing. Like, what is there to appeal? It turns out they didn't like the idea of their girls, who were very good, having to play St. Croix Falls, and they just wanted the whole reformatting of the playoffs thrown out. And
that's such a drop in the bucket comparatively to like the other like there's a boys region where is it Division 1 where 4 ranked teams.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what division it is. I had the sheet and I updated it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so Unity win. Like you will have to play St. Croix Falls anyways, right?
Well, not if before they were a division down.
So they're having to go up.
Yeah, a lot of teams had to move up.
Right.
So they would have been, I think, D4, and St. Croix Falls would have been D3. Well, a lot of D2 moved to D1, D3 moved to D2, D4 moved to D3. So Unity, hello, now you're with St. Croix Falls. And we got to see the girls firsthand. They're good.
St. Croix Falls?
Yeah.
Yeah, the best team I've watched girls this season. I'll get back to you on that.
Bella Len scored 40 for Prescott the other night.
Did you see they beat Ellsworth by around 50?
I mean, they're okay.
And Prescott got beat by St. Croix Falls by double digits.
Yeah. Speaking of Prescott, their boys are practicing today for the first time in 2 weeks.
Jeez.
It might actually be longer than that.
That's crazy.
Back in action. They have to get 5 practices in before they can compete in the game, though. So they'll practice today, they'll practice tomorrow, they'll practice twice on Saturday.
So Coach Johnson's resting heart rate for the last 2 weeks has been right around 100. And I mean, he might be in the best shape he's ever been in his life right now.
He's not overly thrilled about anything right now. I did get a chance to chat with him a little bit, asked him if he wanted to come on the podcast again and talk about it. He said if I can find some time now, because now that he's like an unleashed animal.
Yeah,
now
it's
that
frustrating.
Now that he's back in.
It seemed frustrating. Worst case scenario when early on Baldwin was shut down. But to be shut down in the meat of the season.
Oh yeah.
I mean, let alone being shut down during the playoffs would. I'm not sure what they've worked out when it comes to bylaws. If a team shuts down,
forfeit.
Right, and so that's obviously the worst case scenario. But yeah, when your team's just starting to hit its stride, that's super frustrating.
Yeah, he basically, I think what happened was one kid tested positive, so they were all named close contacts, and then in an effort to get back quicker, you test, and if you get negatives, then you can come back sooner. Well, as it turned out, they went to get tested. 5 of them tested positive, and now they're labeled outbreak, and shut down entirely. So, you got a bunch of kids that are just pent up, and you're trying to. You just want to play, Oh, here we go. Good boy. Oh.
So I'm a little confused because girls Unity and girls St. Croix Falls both fall under Division 3.
Yep. Now.
Originally as well. Yep.
What division are we? We're Division 3.
Yep.
You got to be in a different. They would have been a different section then.
Each other? They wouldn't have only faced each other in
Whoa,
state.
Whoa. No, I don't think that's true because Unity was always a division down.
Well, they are
from us.
They are on their site on Wisp Sports. They are Division 3. So.
Yeah, they're Division 3 now.
But I'm not.
Like if you
sure.
were to look at their last year's bracket, they were in the north of Division 4.
Okay. So they did update this. They did update Wisp Sports team profiles as well.
I would assume it's just all pulled from some database. So when they put the brackets together.
Right.
So the girls' seeding meetings are actually upcoming this weekend. Boys will be next weekend. And for many of these 5-team regions, it's going to be, one's ideal because you can host 2 games. 2's awesome because you get to host 1 for sure.
Right.
3 better than 4 because you don't have to play that first round game. 5, you'd have to win 3 road games to get out. 4, you'd have to win a home game and then get number 1 at their place. There are some exceptions right now to who can host games. The WI needs to get their money, right? And that's where we're at. So if you can't take fans, you find another place to play. Is how this is playing out. Fortunately, we're able to host fans. But yeah, you'll have to pay to get into those events. Because the WI needs to recoup some of their massive losses.
Right. Yeah, and unfortunately, unless you can summon a better alternative at this point, Unity girls basketball, it's tough to rejumble the entire state's playoff outlook.
Right.
When that is not that's not an exclusive example. There's a ton of teams that have moved up or down.
No, not down.
Or up rather, that are at a disadvantage now. River Falls, Baldwin Woodville, and more Amery. So it's
well, yeah. I mean, you're not gonna. Football's a little bit different because not everybody makes it. And they establish the field and then they draw the cut lines. In basketball, you kind of know going in where you're going to be. But it wasn't a number that many years ago, and this is going to sound crazy to you, who's a little bit younger than me. The playoff field used to be set at the beginning of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So our best team, in my opinion, that's ever played here was I think 96, 97. So Sean Tim's senior year. Sean was a senior, Bucko was a junior. But they lost at Spring Valley. It was their only regular season loss. I think they played on like a Saturday night and they lost. We were considered one of the top 5 teams in the state in our division. Spring Valley was considered one of the top 10 teams in our state in our division. And they were slated to be to face off in the first round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
By whatever, how luck would have it. Well, at that point in time, you were going to play that game unless you sold too many tickets. So Spring Valley was supposed to host, and there was a giant push where we got to get this game moved. It can't be at Spring Valley. So we were able to sell whatever the predetermined number was to get it moved out of Spring Valley. They moved it to the River Falls High School, which was at that point the high school now, which was the middle school, and that was the game that Sean had 9 threes in the third quarter, 27 points in the third quarter, 53 for the game, and we beat Spring Valley and ended up losing in Amery's gym to Glenwood City in the sectional final. But that was all set prior to the season. So how you did in the regular season meant literally zero. You know what I mean? And so when we talk about how kids might not know how you're doing,
I would assume that would mean that there's been some teams with some relatively easy roads to regional championships in the past.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and also teams with very, very hard paths all the time.
Like that one.
And so, the seeding meetings, and I've sat through them, and they're not perfect, but nobody knows more about the 13 teams in the region than the 13 people sitting in that room. As much as we follow basketball, I wouldn't pretend to know as much now as I did last year when that was what I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would know every team's best 6-7 players.
And have watched all of those teams play
Mm-hmm.
so many games. Now, obviously, we didn't get to see Northwestern play a ton of games, but we would play all those Heart of the North teams for the most part, and we would get their films. We played St. Croix Falls. We'd have them on film. So now it's going to be 5, and and I mentioned it before. So much of how these meetings play out has to do with kind of alliances that you form. And they're by conference. So, we walk into, I don't know if it was Turtle Lake High School or wherever it was, and the 7 of the 8 middle border conference teams walk in, and then 5 Heart of the North teams walk in. When it's, you're going to give the nod to the team in your conference. And now this, with our boys, especially this year, 4 middle border teams in Altoona. Well, I don't know that any of the middle border teams can truthfully say we're better than Altoona.
For Division 3?
Yeah, for boys. Division 2. We're in Division 2.
And Altoona's in Division 2?
Yeah, they're in our region. Baldwin, Woodville.
So you're talking just that region?
Yeah, 5 teams.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was going to say there's
Richmond.
2 middle border teams that I would say can make just strength of schedule wise, yeah.
So Richmond, Somerset,
yeah,
Ellsworth, Baldwin, Woodville, Altoona.
But none of those teams can.
Altoona beat Somerset at Somerset.
Right. It just depends on how you want to weigh.
Right, but you look at common games, and you'd say we beat Somerset.
Yeah. Somerset beat
as
Richmond.
Altoona. Altoona says we beat Somerset. Somerset beat New Richmond.
Yeah.
We're the best. We're the number 1. Well, who's going to align with the team that is going solo?
Right.
So then it becomes, if things play out how they have played out, where New Richmond says, okay, we'll put Somerset 1. Somerset says, okay, we'll put you 1, New Richmond, and then we'll see. Basically, whoever Altoona votes for higher is going to be the highest seed.
Mm-hmm.
Because they, and so there's some gamesmanship that goes on. But at the end of the day, you still have to beat everybody.
Yeah, that's kind of the underlying ethic that I still fall back on is you can formulate and kind of stand by lines of reasoning that say we're better than this team, we're not, we deserve to play at home, we deserve to be in this division, whatever it may be, but winning has always been the solution.
Right. Yep.
all season. And so if you're not at a place where you'd like to, for example, if you're in Richmond and you're frustrated with getting a 2 seed, with Altoona getting the 1, the easier solution would have been to beat Somerset twice.
Correct.
And so, like you said, at the end of the day, Sean almost gets all the way up there.
Yeah, he does.
At the end of the day, it's going to be decided on courts like this, on nights like this, and it's going to be fun to watch.
Yep.
Mason wanted to take a charge there real bad. That would have hurt. Five's a thicker kid. Hawks have pulled out to a significant lead in this one, 39-17 with under 6 minutes left in this JV bout between the Warriors and Blackhawks. And Amery's not a terribly deep squad once again this year. Looks like they've got more, at least one more, probably a couple more players on their C team.
So our C team went to Prescott, I think, Monday, because Prescott's C team is still playing. So at this point, it's just a mix and match schedule. The Prescott games, there'll be 4 of them. Oh, nice play, Mace. There'll be 4 games against Prescott, boys and girls here next Saturday. So what Werner just did there was recognized the guy guarding him as the inbounder wasn't paying attention, threw it off his back to try to get a quick bucket. Didn't work out the way you wanted it to, but that's a heads-up play by a heads-up player. Looking ahead to the game that'll start here, in about 20-25 minutes, the Amery Warriors, I don't think they graduated many dudes from last year. I don't know if you have that in front of you. They bring a lot of their guys back that were on the team last year that didn't have a ton of success. I want to say I'd have to see the guys to know exactly who they were, but Juleson, Melberg, Luchtenberg, Lepak,
Oft,
Krasinski,
and Jason Oft.
and Oft. Those were their significant players last year.
Mm-hmm.
And so, obviously you hope for improvement. And they've had more success this year than last year. So
Right.
What are we looking at here? All right, and then with the Blackhawks, still starting the same 5 that they started all year, in Cam and Keegan and Dylan and Eli and Colin. The last game we did, I believe all 5 of those guys had double figures and bench had 0.
Right.
So trying to extend that bench a little bit is ultimately what you want to do here. You're not going to play a ton of guys as the playoffs approach, but in a game like tonight, hopefully you can build a little bit of a lead, get some other guys in the game.
Right. I know at Amery when the Hawks knocked off the Warriors by 30, Cal Smith had double digits. He's a freshman. He has not played in varsity games that are close or where the Hawks, are a real competitive one. So that's obviously a great experience for him. I'm pretty sure almost everybody from the bench was entered into that game at some point. And it's good for kids to get a taste of the varsity floor, kind of get that under their belt. So hopefully tonight is a night where some of the starters who all average north of 22-23 minutes, and some of those guys can maybe relax for quite a bit of the second half, and then like you said, the bench not scoring in the last game, not being utilized a ton. There's nobody on the team that doesn't start that averages double digit minutes a game. So getting them significant run tonight will be beneficial for the Hawks.
And I think Logan Feedes had battled some injury stuff, so I believe I saw him play or get into the Rice Lake game. I saw Isaiah icing before the game. And so there's some guys, and you know, I think Mason's someone that can eventually help, but having missed some time, you know, you just got to get your game legs back.
Mm-hmm.
So there are certainly there's numbers there. It's just a matter of getting them experience. And we see the same thing with the girls. I mean, we're playing limited numbers and trying to figure out how to balance that with also playing. You know, you don't want to have it. You don't want to. All right, Shawnee.
Good and one. Sean's had a really nice night. He's probably close to 20 points overall tonight.
Shawnee got an and one. You got anything to say about that?
Well, yeah. I mean, and ones here at Blackhawk TV are brought to us by Packman's Concrete. Packman's Concrete, owned and operated by Nick Pack, can handle all of your concrete needs. You can reach Nick Pack at 612-804-5222 or packmansconcrete@gmail.com. He's pretty much a full-time official during the season, so probably not on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday nights, or even some Saturday afternoons, but you can reach him there most other times, as Sean looks like he's going to get 2 more, and he will.
See, Cal's just got to throw that up towards the front of the rim. I mean, maybe I'll send Cal some Kobe Shack, alley-oops.
So, in Amery, Ian Peterson had 17 minutes, Cale Blocker 16, Sam Hush 13, Isaiah 15, Clay 13. Mason was out with an injury. Cal Smith didn't get double figures. What I was thinking about was he went 3 for 3 from 3 in 6 minutes.
It's a good line.
Not a terrible ratio there. And Feedy played double-digit minutes as well. In that game for Amery, nobody was in double figures. Oft was closest at 9. A bunch of people had 2 points, and that was obviously not a great offensive night for the Warriors as they fell by 30 early in the year. But they did just win at home against Boyceville, 66-41.
Do you have a box score and who scored points?
And in that one, Oft had 15, Luchtenberg had 11. And a bunch of others had, between 5 and 9. So obviously that was a good night for the Warriors. The best night they've had in a long time, years. So looking to see tonight as Sean gets another bucket if the Warriors continue that trend, the momentum, if they continue to build up their team success. I think 3 years ago, or 4 years ago rather, now, during our first season coaching, they were a team that won 7 to 9 games, I believe. They might have eclipsed 10.
They had Galen Coy, short little point guard that was very, very quick, good soccer player. And then they had, was it a Peterson?
So Galen Coy, Mason Spafford, and Zach Swenson were their 3 leading scorers.
No, the next year they had another kid that was a junior on that team that turned out to be a really nice ball player that was a significant contributor. He started slow his junior year, and then by the second time we saw him his senior year, he was a very, very solid player. Tyler Peterson, yeah. Yep. And really, since those 2 guys left, there hasn't been anybody that's really emerged.
So our first season coaching, they won 5 games. Our second season, they won 4, and then last year was 0.
Yeah, one of those 5 wins in our first year
was right here.
They came here and they stuck it to us. Mm-hmm. And we struggled at Amery that year, and we struggled at Amery the following year. Last year we took care of business both times. I think both games were 39-point games, 78-39.
Yeah.
Didn't get to the running clock, but
yeah, and Amery,
go get it, James.
They were real good in the early 2000s, and I mean real good.
Yep.
Where they were winning 20 games year in and year out. Competing for conference, they were outright conference champs in 04. I believe they shared it maybe 1 year later, because there was some Lumen lumens on that team, on those teams. And so they, Mark Lumen, their coach, they've seen good basketball. It's just been a little bit of a tougher last 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah, I think what you need is, and Coach Lumen doesn't work in the Amery School District, and so it sometimes makes it really difficult to, if you're working a 9 to 5, getting the youth stuff rolling, getting it's harder. And I know that our youth stuff is pretty strong. We got kids going from kindergarten on, and Amery's wrestling program is very, very strong.
Mm-hmm.
So you have younger kids seeing that success, and I think that sometimes steers you through, steers you to that sport. We've had success obviously in wrestling too, and we've had success in hockey. So when you're competing for all the athletes, that sometimes becomes an issue. Got little Johansson coming in on crutches here.
I know. That's not good to see. Cal Smith will shoulder in and out on the layup attempt. Held ball called with 13.3 seconds left in this JV game. The Hawks are going to come up with the win, 53-19 currently. An impressive win for the JV. Looks like a couple players have already got their warm-ups on, ready to run out with the varsity.
Yeah, it's always nice to get a win. And a big win. You feel pretty good about that, especially when you don't play again until next week. You can enjoy that one for the weekend. So we're going to get the floor swept, and we'll get running out here, and then we will pick back up with about 5 minutes left in the pregame. Blackhawks win the JV game. We'll be back for varsity here in a few moments. Hey, happy Thursday night, and welcome to Baldwinville High School for a varsity conference matchup between the Amery Warriors and the Baldwinville Blackhawks. This is Blackhawk TV. I'm Jeremy Nygaard, joined by Jordan Lehman and Zach Ambrose on the camera. Jordan, how you doing this evening?
Doing well. Excited to see the boys compete for the third time at home at the varsity level. They got the win earlier this season over Amery in Amery. Beat Amery pretty handily, won by 30. So it'll be interesting to see if that repeats itself tonight, if they're able to take care of business and kind of spread the wealth, or if Amery's made some strides and competes a little bit more closely with the Hawks tonight.
Yep, Amery, I believe, has 2 wins on the year. One rather convincing recently. They did beat Osseo earlier in the year by 2. Have not had a ton of success in the last handful of years. Baldwin, I believe, now would have a 5-game winning streak against the Warriors. And you will notice that we wear matching jerseys. So we've got the white version, they've got the red version. So Amery, Baldwin, Woodville coming up tonight. The clock is running down on the pregame, and when that happens, we will turn the mic over and try to catch Mr. Don Timmerman on the PA. So that'll be happening soon as we line up here for the national anthem. Mr. Sell is DJing tonight, so you never really know when one song's going to end and when the next song's going to begin. So I'm going to turn my mic over to Mr. Don Timmerman here, and we will get things underway shortly. right, so we are all set up for tonight's game. I'll turn the play-by-play duties over to Jordan Lehman.
All right, here we go. Jelson's going to inbound to Leuchtenberg as the away team once again gets the ball first this season. No half-court tip. So Cam Thompson's going to closely guard Leuchtenberg. The ball's going to end up in Oft's hands. Jason Oft, he's the leading scorer for this group at 9.3 points a game. Leuchtenberg strong with it on the wing as Cam Thompson's as close as he can be. Close to the closely guarded Colin Fritz is going to draw the charge. Jelson shoulders into number 1 Colin Fritz, and that's going to go the other way. Blackhawks with their first possession. Team foul goes to Amery. Cam Thompson, the point guard for this group, brings the ball up for the Blackhawks as Amery sits in a 2-3. Alden Woodville's going to get into their zone offense. When teams would approach us with a 2-3, what was your go-to offensively in that case?
It was probably something similar to what you'll see tonight, where you match up with an even man front, which a 2-3 is, with an odd man front, so you'd have 3. And then what we would try to do is, it would be one of 2 things. You'd either try to get some crossing action from the high post to the low post, or you try to sneak a player down into the short corner and overload a side. So we were really fortunate last year when teams would play us in 2-3. We saw it down in our holiday tournament against Melrose, where we just let Ross Dillon and Cam just fire away, and they all made, I want to say, somewhere between 4 and 6 threes, and we shot them to the point where if you want to stay in the zone, that's fine, we're going to keep scoring.
Nice move by Oft for Amery's first 2 points, and the first 2 points of the game. Amery 2, Blackhawks 0.
But typically we did pretty well against the zone. We just you can't let the ball stagnate, and you as a player can't stagnate either.
Good look from the wing. Cam Thompson need it, and that's in and out. Nice offensive rebound by Eli Kuhn. He's fouled on the way down from the rebound, and it'll be Blackhawk ball underneath the basket. Second team foul to the Warriors.
So we got the sweet scoreboard up, but no points or fouls on the board.
Eli patient within the post. Back out, back in, and back out again. Cam Thompson 0 for 2 early from deep for the Blackhawks. Amery 2, BW 0 here in the early going. 16-19 left in the first half. Oft thinks about it from 3. And he'll take it from 3, top of the key, off to the right. But number 11, White, will come down with it. Offsee for the Blackhawks. The leading rebounder and leading assist man for the Hawks gets the held ball called, and that's going to go to the Blackhawks. This year, Dylan Carroll leads the boys in scoring at 13.5 points a game. Cam Thompson, 11.4 points. Offsee at 10 exactly a game.
Yeah, Keegan let him last time. He's had some success from the perimeter this year. I mean, that's a guy you want to get started, though.
Dylan Carroll from the right wing for 3, 3-2 Hawks. The pure-looking stroke from the senior Dylan Carroll. And Cam Thompson almost picks Leuchtenberg's pocket.
And then gets him to.
And then tries to again. Leuchtenberg will be patient with it and be fouled from the back on the shot attempt, and Leuchtenberg's going to go to the line. Dylan Carroll in the foul.
Yeah, Cameron is a very, very, very good perimeter defender.
First one good for Leuchtenberg. Ties the game at 3 here. 15:35 left in the first half. Second one good. Amery retakes the lead 4-3 in the early going. Blackhawks at one point had won 4 out of 6 of their games after starting 0-4, but have lost their last 2. So looking to get back into the winning column are the boys after tough losses here against St. Croix Central and on the road against Rice Lake Warriors. Dylan Carroll once again, same spot, same result. Dylan Carroll with all 6 of the Blackhawks points. BW leads 6-4.
Yeah, it's going to be a long night if Amery is going to just run back and forth and really allow him to set his feet and get the time he needs. I mean, obviously you have to close out quicker and you have to close out to a different angle because he's as tall as he is. But if Dylan can just sit around the perimeter and shoot threes, he might score 30.
Dylan Carroll taking hundreds of those shots, maybe thousands, as White goes to the right, has it knocked away.
Now, if I'm a point guard here, I want Dylan to get another touch, and then another touch, and then another touch, because I want to see how hot he really is.
Luchtenberg knocks the ball away there from Kunin, as Dylan maybe thought about it for a second from the left wing this time, but got it down to Kunin, who has it knocked away.
Yeah, it's important to get him. Well, he'll take that.
Kunin with good position, sets up the opportunity for a three-point play. He makes the layup.
A very good pass by Cam.
And one opportunities here at Blackhawk TV are sponsored by Packman's Concrete. Nick Pack, owner and operator of Packman's Concrete, can take care of all your concrete needs at 612-804-5222 or packmansconcrete@gmail.com. Free throw off the right rim and out. 8-4, Hawks up early in this first half. Some congestion on the right side for the Amery Warriors as they try to get things started offensively. That entry pass knocked away by Caro off the legs of Kershinsky. And that's going to go back to the Hawks. I believe Mark Lumen is actually behind the bench tonight as Jordan Lumen is taking the coach's box.
I think you are right.
So, I'm not going to speculate onto what's going on there, but head coach is in the building, and his son, his youngest son, is kind of taking the reins tonight. Me and Jordan Lumen separated by 1 year and 1 letter.
Is that true?
It is. Nice play design there by Amery as Oft had a pretty good look of it. Oft with some good athleticism able to rise up. No good in the layup, however, and the Hawks will get it back against this 2-3 zone. Offsy patient with it. Colin Fritz, a significant scorer at times this year for the Hawks as a freshman, yet to get a shot off. Eli Kunin with a foul.
Yeah, you don't want to commit those fouls when you're 85 feet from the basket defensively. Save those for blocking the other team from scoring.
Charles Flannum, number 12, will check in for Michael Krasinski for the Warriors. Really tough on-ball defense by the Hawks thus far. Off from deep. Almost is fouled after the shot. He'll knock it down for 5 early points for the Warriors' leading scorer. Blackhawks 8, Warriors 7 in the early going here. Approaching 12:45 left in the first half. Dylan Carroll will kick to Cam Thompson. He'll drive in. Get it to Fritz in the short corner. He'll go towards the lane line and he'll finish with his right hand. 10-7. Hawks, nice patience there by the freshman number 1 Fritz.
So we've seen everybody take a shot at this point except for Keegan. We've said it before, like at some point Keegan needs to be more assertive offensively. I mean, he had 19, led the team in scoring on Tuesday. He's shooting a very, very good clip from the perimeter this year, where he's making half of his threes or more. Like he's got to demand the ball. You know, I want Dylan to take some shots. Obviously, we've seen what Colin can do when he gets to the rim. Eli's handled his own around the rim, but we've been playing basketball here for 6 minutes, and he doesn't have a shot. I don't even know if he's touched the ball offensively.
Right, I think he's touched it one time, kind of on the wing, as Goker, number 21, Bryn Goker, in for Amery for Jolson. And a timeout awarded to the Amery coach, 30-second timeout.
Even though we don't know what life has in store for our homes or cars, we can still prepare. Introducing the damage doesn't have to be too damaging policy from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. For details, contact Agent Justin Nygaard. Call 715-684-2919 or stop by 775 Main Street in Baldwin today. Members of Wisconsin Credit Union can access account information and take care of most everyday banking needs via Wisconsin Online, the mobile app, and text banking. Immediate access to your Wisconsin accounts is also available 24 hours a day via touch-tone phone. Contact Wisconsin Credit Union to learn more.
So back and forth here in the early going between the Blackhawks and the Warriors. Warriors took a very early lead. Blackhawks threw 3-pointers by Dylan Caro and a couple baskets by others have taken the lead here, 10-7, just under 12 minutes left in the first half of this Middle Border Conference action. And they will get Keegan with the body as the Coach Lumen, Jordan Lumen for the Warriors, beckons the ref to make the call. Third team foul for the Blackhawks, 3 team fouls each at this point. And they're going to get Bryn Goker with an offensive foul, and Jolson will check back in for Goker. Logan Feedy in the game for Eli Kunin, a couple breaks in the action to go. Hawks have played 6 thus far, Amery playing 7. A lot of physicality now. In that right corner, Cam Thompson thinks about it. He'll pull up from 12, and it's good. Mid-range shot good for the junior point guard, Cam Thompson, 12-7, BW.
They've let Cam get away with that, but that wasn't going to last forever.
First foul on number 5, Cam Thompson. So 8 total team fouls. Not even 11 minutes to go here in the first half. Physical game thus far.
Well, I feel like they've let a lot of stuff go.
Right.
And so it becomes difficult as an official, which I must remind is very difficult. But it becomes very difficult for an official to then rein the game in when you've allowed the stuff to go early. Cam and Keegan are both very physical defenders, and now they both picked up their first after not having been called for any of the contact that they made over the first 6.5 minutes of the game.
Right. Sam Hush in the game for the Blackhawks now as well. Dylan Carroll block followed by 3, just short on the 3 after his go-go gadget arms once again. Blocked the shot. Jolson not happy with the travel call. He believed he kept his foot down. The ref thought otherwise, and the Hawks will get possession.
Yeah.
Sam Hush, number 10, inbounding it.
I don't know that it was a travel, but when you do things like that, you call for a travel.
Right.
Come to a jump stop, doesn't happen.
Dylan Carroll with a good look from the right wing.
Seeing now,
He'll fake it to pass it to Cam Thompson, who's short. Now 0 for 3 from deep is Cam.
I think 4. I think he just missed a third one in there. But Dylan can't think about it. He just got to do it. I mean, he makes his first 2, he misses 1, then he hesitates. Okay, worst case scenario is you're 2 for 4. You're still 50%.
Number of bodies fighting for the ball on the ground.
And Sam's going to get called for that. It was a good hustle,
by
good
Krasinski.
effort.
Krasinski, a little bigger in stature than Hush, comes away with it. That's the Blackhawks' 5th team foul. 9:49 left in this first half. So the bonus.
Krasinski played football, right?
Very good player. Very good player. One of the better backs in the conference this year for an Amery team that won more games and competed at a much higher level than they have in a number of years. A lot of contact underneath there as 23 Luchtenberg skies for the layup. Ball end up in Baldwin Woodville's hands as Coach Ashland advises Feedy to just flop on that charge.
That's what he said.
He did. Just fall to the ground, which is true. You got to sell it. And in high school basketball, that'll get to call quite often.
Did you see Brad Davison get called for the flop on the 3 yesterday?
Yep. I couldn't remember. Me and my dad were discussing it. Logan Feed will take it, and he'll get fouled in the shot attempt, and he'll go to the free throw line. If that's one warning and then an unsportsmanlike, or is it a flagrant?
I don't know. I know the first one's nothing. I'm assuming it's probably a
technical,
an indirect technical, or maybe a direct technical.
First free throw off to the right for Logan Feedy.
But you'll get 2 shots in the ball, and
after taking his junior season of basketball off, he's back this year and helping out the Hawks quite a bit. Off on the right on both of those free throws, but Dylan Carroll will bring it down for the Hawks, and he'll get it back out to Cam Thompson. Once again facing the 2-3 defense by the Amery Warriors.
Yeah, I don't like how Keegan just stays buried. I would like him to be more involved.
Halfway done with this first half. Dylan Carroll swats away Krasinski's attempt emphatically, and Sam Hush is going to go coast to coast, but it's short on the layup attempt.
And now we're going to get a foul 90 feet from the hoop.
Not quite, and Amery gets rid of it. Luchtenberg has it on the left wing. He'll get it up to Jolson.
Ooh, Coach Ashland he wants Isaiah.
Oft has it, back to Luchtenberg. Flannum with some extended run in this first half for the Warriors, number 12. Jolson will pull from deep, and that's in and out. But Oft pulls it down, the leading scorer for the Warriors, and he'll put it back in. 3-point game, 12-9, BW in the lead.
Oft has 7 of those 9 for the Warriors.
White checking back in at the scorer's table. Amery currently running Flannum and 4 original starters. Dylan Carroll with a great look from the left wing, need it, and it's long. Right on line, perfectly in line from where I'm sitting, but just long is the 3-point attempt. So 2 for 4, 50% for the senior leading scorer for this group. Krasinski holding on to finally get it to Oft.
Oh.
Keegan will get called for a second, not happy with it. Not happy with it.
Well, I think he's not happy with it because it was a bad call. The thing is, you ain't going to change anybody's mind, and acting in a way that shows that you don't like the call doesn't buy you any favors from the officials either.
So Cam Thompson will get a break.
Keegan's just got to be smart now.
As well as Colin Fritz and Sam Hush. So Keegan Offsey, one of the premier players for this Baldwin team, with 2 early fouls. Still 7.5 minutes left in this first half. Isaiah Randall, Dylan Carroll, and Colin Fritz will check in for Logan Feedy. Coonan is also returned.
Looks like we're going to get some DK running the 1.
And Gauker back in for Amery.
See, now here's where I would like to see Keegan get up and get Isaiah down in the perimeter, or get Isaiah down on the block.
From the elbow, Dylan Carroll for 2. 14-9, Hawks in the lead as
Dylan's got 8.
the senior takes control.
That was always such a nice thing. I mean, last year we had Cam really as our primary ball handler, and then we had Ross, who could serve that purpose as really a secondary ball handler or the primary ball handler. But having Dylan on the floor, who has probably as good of, if not better, handles that short as anybody on the floor. There you go.
Keegan Offsey skies for the layup.
Got an and one.
And the foul is called.
But just to go back on that, having Dylan on the floor as a 6'6" guy that can handle as well as anybody is a huge benefit. That's Goker's 3rd. And he just was waiting for Keegan to land, and Keegan kind of landed on him and sold it.
So Keegan will finish the 3-point play with a little dot on the back iron there, but it'll roll in. 17-9, Hawks up by 8.
While there's a sub here, contact Don Timmerman of Timmerman Realty for all your realty needs. You can reach him by phone at 715-684-9541 or by email at dontimmerman@baldwin-telecom.net.
6.5 minutes left in this first half as Luchtenberg will take it to the rack, and he'll get fouled and finish. So a chance for a three-point play for Luchtenberg, the second leading scorer for this Amery group.
Luchtenberg's been a primary player here for Amery, I believe, since his sophomore year. He's got his game a little more under control. You know, the scouting report on him last year was he plays very hard, but didn't always play smart, and so he would make some mistakes, take some bad shots, but he's calmed his game down, and he's become a pretty nice player in the conference.
Nice steal there by Flanham, and he'll fire it ahead a bit errantly, and that's going to end up going off of White. So the Blackhawks will get the ball right back. Timeout, ball in Woodville.
Precision Excavating Enterprise is a full-service excavating, grading, and trucking contractor located in Baldwin, offering all types of residential and commercial earth-moving, septic systems, demolition, landscaping, driveways, and building sites. Our trucking division offers dump truck, grain hopper, and flatbed hauling services, sand, gravel, fill delivery, serving the Baldwin and surrounding western Wisconsin areas. Give us a call at 715-760-0768 for free estimates. Danmar Systems is a local and national provider of residential and commercial finished carpentry services and custom residential cabinetry. Our work is showcased in health facilities, retail stores, and custom homes throughout the U.S. and Caribbean. From client meetings and through the entire interior carpentry and cabinet making process, we deliver on our commitments and strive to exceed even the highest of expectations. Danmar Systems, a legacy of craftsmanship. Contact Jason Larson at 715-928-1447 for a consultation and free estimate. St. Croix Garage Doors provides Western Wisconsin with top quality garage door sales, service, and installation. We proudly serve Baldwin, Woodville, Hudson, Richmond, River Falls, Stillwater, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Give Brian a call today at 715-781-8989 for a quote, install, or service. Stop by Culver's of Baldwin after the game, where you can enjoy our irresistibly tender and flavorful premium chicken sandwiches. Choose from grilled or crispy chicken topped with crisp lettuce, ripe tomatoes, crunchy pickles, and a lightly buttered toasted bun. Or enjoy our spicy crispy chicken sandwich, hand buttered and marinated with a special 4-pepper blend of spices. Pair your sandwiches with one of our signature sides like crinkle cut fries, onion rings, or Wisconsin cheese curds. Welcome to Delicious.
Hawks up by 5, 17-12, 6 minutes and counting, as Flanham gets the steal, and he'll think about the layup, but dish it to White, and White will finish. Dayton White with 2 as the Warriors pull within 3. 17-14, Hawks in the lead. Azale entered into Coonan, will fight for it. Dylan Kerr from the left elbow once again. Good.
Yep, DK, just shoot it, man. Just shoot it.
19-14, Baldwin Woodville in the lead.
There wasn't a lot of times in the last couple years that we suggested that Dylan shouldn't shoot the ball.
Right. Very good shooter as Colin Fritz will get called for the foul. It's going to be Baldwin Woodville's 8th team foul as Krasinski will go to the line.
So 8 fouls in the team, but right now that's 7 different players. Keegan's got 2. And with Oft, I guess he still is in the game. I was going to say, with their best player out of the game, and he's going to stay in for now. Cam's coming back.
Gavin Melberg in the game for Amery. First free throw was long for Krasinski, off back iron. And the second one short, and will bounce off the backboard and out, but Amery will retain possession. Offensive rebound by White. Luchtenberg sets a screen. White tries to find Krasinski, but no luck, as Off will have a hard take, fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Colin picks up his second.
So 2 starters with 2 fouls apiece currently in Offsey and Fritz, as Feedy will check in for Fritz. Trying to escape this first half with the lead and nobody with 3 fouls. About 5 minutes left. Off looking to make 2 of 2. And the second one is off front iron and in. 3-point lead for the Baldwin Woodville, 19-16. Amery keeping it close thus far. It was a 22-point game at halftime at Amery's place earlier this season when the Hawks prevailed by 30. This one, a much different story.
Oh, it was a good block, but you could hear the hand. And I'm not sure if it was I'm not sure if it was the contact that you heard or if it was the block of, or the off's hand kind of flicking
Right.
that you heard.
Nonetheless, Coonan will go to the free throw line, and that first one will ricochet off back iron.
Yeah.
Second one will be no good.
Logan
as
Feedy was in the lane too early.
So although the shot went in, Feedy with a lane violation, no good for the Hawks. 19-16, still a 3-point lead for Baldwin Woodville. Jolson looking to check back in the game for Amery, and he will for Leuchtenberg.
Yeah, if we can tighten the screws in a full court, Amery does not have an abundance of ball handlers. I think we could speed the tempo of this game up, get some turnovers.
Amery will turn it over there. Clay Lorentz in the game for some of his first varsity action tonight.
Yeah, we played 9 so far, and that's a considerable development here. And like you mentioned in the pregame, being able to give guys a break a little bit. I don't think they anticipated it'd be a break in a 3-point game late in the first half.
Strong take there by Coonan for 2. 21-16 Baldwin Woodville for the sophomore.
But we've fouled too much. We've been too handsy. We just got to get back to doing what we do well, and that's moving our feet, forcing them to make a tough play, and then running our offense.
Krasinski under the basket. Chooses to kick it back out. Oft will have it near the top of the key. He'll take a long 3. That's short. Dylan Carroll will get the rebound. And he'll advance for the Blackhawks. Kick it to Cam Thompson.
Need better spacing in this offense. Logan has to get lower.
Cam Thompson once again on that left wing, looking to go to work.
We're too close. Got to use more of the floor.
Dylan thought about it from deep. Eli Coonan's going to try once again from the right side. That's blocked by Oft. Cam Thompson's going to penetrate, go all the way to the basket, through some contact but no call, and White will get the outlet from Jolson. White's pass off the mark to Melberg.
That wasn't Cam's best take to the hoop, but I will stand by my belief that Cam Thompson's his best when he is trying to get to the rack and ultimately get into the free throw line. So I would like to see him do more of that, even though it wasn't great there.
Dylan Carroll for 3 from the left wing, 24-16 Blackhawks.
Nielsen's Foods has been serving communities since 1903. We offer full-service caribou coffee, bakery, deli, and meat departments. We pride ourselves with our award-winning Nielsen's Market meats and our friendly staff. Nielsen's vision is to build a strong family of customers and employees by delivering superior service to our customers, offering employee growth opportunities, reinvesting in our stores, and serving our communities. Nielsen's Foods wishes Baldwin Woodville schools and athletics the best in their achievement towards excellence. Question, are we going to show the cheerleaders at halftime? Sure, we can do that. A-Star Concrete Pumping is proud to be family owned and operated in Wisconsin. We pride ourselves on maintaining a high-quality, unique fleet and very knowledgeable staff to complete all projects. From smaller residential projects to large-scale commercial enterprises, A-Star Concrete Pumping has the equipment, staff, and experience to handle all of your concrete needs. Contact them at 715-246-3920. Firehelm Langer is a CPA firm with offices in Baldwin, Ellsworth, River Falls, and Lake Elmo. At Firehelm Langer, our clients are our top priority. We offer the skills and expertise of a large CPA firm combined with the personal attention and responsiveness of a smaller firm. When you partner with us, we take the time to get to know you, understand your goals, and build a lasting professional relationship. We invite you to turn to us at Firehelm Langer for bookkeeping services, payroll services, financial projections, tax preparation, tax planning, and all of your accounting and tax needs.
BW up 8 over the Amery Warriors. Just under 3 minutes left in the first half. Applying some pressure are the Hawks. Tough man-to-man defense once again on this possession for Baldwin Woodville.
Ooh, that was almost offensive.
Luchtenberg will get it to White. White will shoot from the elbow. Hard off the backboard and brought down by Luchtenberg. Jolson with it on the right wing. Luchtenberg will find Krasinski under the basket for 2. 24-18, Baldwin Woodville in the lead.
I don't think anybody on the bench is real thrilled about giving up that basket.
Oft will check back in for Amery. Clay in the short corner all alone. He'll find Kunin, who'll be triple teamed. Kunin will go to work to his right. That's hard off the back. Ward, he'll fight for it and get it back. And a held ball will be called. And that's going to go to Amery. So Kunin putting in a lot of work on that right block. Unable to finish.
Coach Ashland tells Eli, don't dribble it, just go up. There's a lot of annoying people lower. That's where I spent my time.
Right.
I'm not going to go up, mess around with the big boys, but I might try to take it from you when it's by your knees.
Right. Luchtenberg from 3. That is an air ball, and that will land out of bounds and go to the Blackhawks. 6-point lead, 1:20 left in this first half. Carroll will take a dribble in, dish it to Clay Lorenz. From the short corner, mid-range. Clay Lorenz, 8-point lead now for the Hawks. A minute to go in this first half middle border conference action. Luchtenberg's going to go coast to coast and run into Eli Kunin, and that's an offensive foul on 23 Luchtenberg.
But I'm not sure that was. I mean, Wyatt Eli kind of took that one to the side. He sold it though, which is what gets the call. You sell it in front of your own bench, and you're likely to get that call.
Under a minute to go. Hawks attacking the 2-3 once again. That's going to go off the fingertips of Dylan Caro after it was deflected by Flanham, and it's going to be Amery ball. There's about 43 seconds left in this first half. Jolson will bring it up for the Warriors. Flanham will set a cross screen for Oft. No entry from White. Shot by Jolson was long. And a foul called on White.
Shoot out of that deal. Feedy's going to shoot. You know, that shot there that you see, you know, if you watch a college game or an NBA game, that shows up as a 7-footer, that's a missed shot. A 7-footer, jeepers. A 7-foot shot that's contested as a turnaround, that's probably one of your lower percentage shots that you can come up with. So if you're a Blackhawk fan, you're okay with Amery taking that shot. The 7-foot catch and dribble one time and make an uncontested layup, that's a pretty high percentage shot. So the good defense there causes the miss and gets us to the free throw line where we don't convert. But
and Amery is going to shoot. Foul on Clay, Lorenz, and Jolson will shoot the 1-and-1.
So not a particularly clean half here by any of the 3 members of the game involved, the Blackhawks, the Warriors, or the officials.
Double bonus, excuse me. Jolson will miss the first.
We mentioned earlier how the whistles weren't coming. The game got a little rough, and then the officiating tightened up. So,
and with 5 seconds left, Dylan Carroll hoisted a 3/4 court shot after Jolson missed his second free throw. I don't think anybody on the bench was too happy with that choice, but looks like Amery's going to get out of the half.
What would've
Down
been-
only 8, 26-18. Baldwin Woodville in the lead at halftime.
What would have been great is if Daco would have stopped the clock with like 0.6 of a second left, and then we would have got to have a third end of the half shot,
Right.
just for fun. So, what we're gonna do here is Ambrose will keep the camera on the cheerleaders. I will keep my mic on while the songs playing, and we'll also get the scoreboard camera charged. So here we go. Cheerleaders are up.
I owe you $100.
Wait, sir.
We would like to present to you the 2020
All right, welcome back to the second half. Hope you enjoyed the view of all the Flat fans in the stands. I knew about half of them. Update on the scoring total as we start the second half. Amery first. Jason Oft has 9. Wyatt Luchtenberg has 5. Dayton White has 2. Michael Krasinski has 2 for a total of 18. Leading the Hawks in scoring is Dylan Carroll with 13. Eli Kunin with 4. Keegan Ofsey with 3. Clay Lorenz with 2. Cam Thompson with 2. Colin Fritz with 2 for a total of 26.
So the Hawks up by 8 entering this second half. Hawks coming off a road loss at Rice Lake. Amery coming off a home win against Boyceville. Only 6 total wins between these two teams, but one of them will prevail tonight as early foul in the first half on Krasinski. Just kidding, off. Colin Fritz will shoot from 3. Right on line, but long.
And you see that Keegan is not buried in the corner this time. He is. That's poor defense.
And White's going to go to the rack, shoot 2.
But Keegan's going, kind of floating more around the perimeter. So, I was going to say, where's the noise coming from? Ambrose had this speaker on.
First shot off to the right for White.
Did you get that foul? I didn't see who the foul was called on.
I did not.
It was either Cam or Dylan, I would assume.
Second free throw hits front iron and rolls in for White.
I would anticipate the Blackhawks scoring earlier and more often here in the second half.
BW up 7, and White will get another steal. He'll get it to Oft. Patient would have in the corner is White.
If you're watching tonight, you're planning on watching the girls' game tomorrow against Ellsworth. We have the link posted to YouTube. If that does not start by 5:45. Please go back to the Blackhawk TV YouTube page. There'll be another link just like tonight. It's all a matter of if we can get it to connect directly to that link or not. But we will find a way to get it broadcast as long as we have internet. So ideally we're hooking up to the correct YouTube link, but if not, just go back to the Blackhawk TV YouTube page and find it. If you hit subscribe, you'll get an alert when we go live. My wife let me know that her phone alerted her to tonight's game. So we can use all the subscriptions we can get. There we go, Dylan.
Dylan Carroll from the top of the key, good from deep on a nice assist by Keegan Opsey. 29-19, BW up double digits.
Dylan's 4th 3 of the night.
Tough man defense once again by the Hawks. Aggressive in the passing lanes, making Amery make tough decisions with the ball as Krasinski has it knocked away by Dylan Carroll. Stays with Amery.
If he deflects that one an inch deeper, he might get a dunk out of that deal.
Right.
And I think that's why he was disappointed. He got a little bit too far around him and tapped it out of bounds, but if he taps it up the court, that might just be going the other direction. Good hands by Cam.
Off has a strip by Thompson. And they'll slow it down.
Keegan's open. Keegan's all by himself. I like having Dylan at the high corner, or not the high corner, the high post, because he's able to extend out when Cam moves. And he's just more active in that area too.
Cam Thompson will fake right, go left, and find Keegan Opsey from the right wing.
There he is.
Good for the junior.
Give that shout out across the world to Doug Hovey.
Baldwin Woodville counting by threes in this first half or second half early, 32-19. Baldwin Woodville up 13.
Precision Truck Service is a full-service heavy truck and trailer repair shop located in Baldwin and offering all types of general repair for heavy truck and trailer, diesel, mobile service, alignment, computer diagnostics, welding and fabrication, and sandblasting. As a Michelin heavy truck tire dealer, we offer best in pricing on Michelin, BFG, and Uniroyal tire brands, balancing and installation. Give us a call at 715-760-0768 or stop in. We are located conveniently on the north side of Baldwin under the water tower. If you head that direction, step outside, yell, "Hello, Jordan Lehman. Hello, Zach Ambrose," because they are just a stone's throw away from the water tower. I'm not going to tell you where they live, though. We don't need that happening in Baldwin.
Now let that play itself out as Lechtenberg will inbound to somebody, and he'll find Flanham. Flanham off the bench has played quite a few minutes for Amery in this game. Off's going to go to his left. Tough falling away mid-range shot for Oft, and Flanham will come down with it, and a held ball will be called, pointing to the Amery Warriors.
I don't believe Amery had any all-conference players last year, but I feel like Oft is probably going to get him get on a team. Maybe an honorable mention, but I think he's really improved.
Right.
They did have, and I don't see him. They had a bigger kid last year. I want to say he was a sophomore and a sophomore lefty.
Nice pass by Flanham. Really nice find there from Flanham to Krasinski with his left hand. That's one that he's going to hopefully clip for a highlight tape for the young man Charles Flanham.
And I don't see, I feel like he was a taller blonde kid. Southpaw.
Good on the first is Krasinski.
And I thought he was a kid that flashed some potential last year for Amery. If anybody from Amery's watching, you can give me a idea of who that kid might be, and if he's not playing basketball, or if he's not in the district, or what happened.
Nothing but net on both of those free throws for Krasinski. Krasinski will take it away from Caro in the high post on the pass attempt. Lechtenberg will ask for a ball screen. Oft will deliver and roll. He'll rise up from 10 feet. Good.
He's got 11, team high.
Amery back within single digits.
Yep, that's where we need to go. Good pass.
Fritz in the short corner will shoulder in and get it to go with a free throw coming for Colin Fritz, the freshman, going to the line.
And that's something that Dylan offers. That, I mean, you can coach a kid on a lot of things, but being able to just extend up, see above the defenders, and make a good pass.
3-point play completed by Fritz on the free throw.
The question, how many subscribers do we have now? As of the beginning of this game, we had 711.
Amery with a quick basket to respond. 10 points is the lead for BW.
Find an open spot, Keegan.
Offsy on the right wing will find Thompson on the opposite wing. Patient with it. Fritz comes to the rescue, and Thompson at the top of the key. Caro with a nice turnaround J just inside the free throw line. 37-25 Blackhawks.
Dylan's up to a game high 18. I told you he could get 30. I'll stand by that. I don't know if it'll happen, but he could.
Off will go to his right, find Lechtenberg in the corner. Lechtenberg once again closely guarded by Thompson.
Yep. That's a foul.
And Thompson will get a hold of the wrist of Lechtenberg, and that's going to be a foul on the junior point guard for the Hawks. Lechtenberg will inbound.
So that foul early in the half was on Cam. He's got 2 this half. Collins got 1. They each have 3.
Off will set things up for the Warriors. And he'll get an entry pass and finish with an up and under in the lane. 27-37. Amery down just 10. Dylan Carroll from the extended short corner, in and out.
Yeah, I don't mind that shot. It's not one of my favorite takes, but he caught it in rhythm. He's been knocking down shots. When guys are making shots, you extend the leash a little bit, and that was an instance where he just missed a shot. It almost went in and just rattled out.
Back up there by Flanham is knocked away by Feedy. White will hoist the three, and that's long, well long. Cam Thompson gathers the rebound for BW. Keegan Opsey from the same spot he hit earlier, and that's almost out and in, but rattles out for the junior.
Yeah, the types of misses that you have, I think, hopefully tell good shooters a little bit about themselves. You know, the three we saw the last time down the floor for Amery, that was well long and well right.
Off to the right from deep three.
Looks a little bit different than when Dylan or Keegan miss a three, and it looks good, and then just...
Cam Thompson from deep in the right wing almost banks in.
Good boy, Colin.
Fritz with the offensive rebound, off on the layup attempt. Frustrated with himself as he knows that's one he'd like back. Sam Hush will check in for Cam Thompson.
So we have a timeout on the floor. Since 1880, Village Pharmacy has been locally owned and providing your healthcare needs. Looking for ways to save money on your prescriptions? Talk to one of our pharmacists. We can help. We also offer flu and shingle shots, nutritional supplements, diabetes supplies, medical equipment, and lift chairs. We are staffed by people you know who live in your community and enjoy seeing you face-to-face or helping you over the phone. All major insurances are accepted. Home delivery, curbside, and mailing options are available. We are proud to serve the Baldwin, Woodville, St. Croix, Central, Glenwood City, and Ellsworth communities. We are Village Pharmacy, and we are here for you. Bridging the gap between your now and someday, we are Bridge Investment Group, a multi-generational independent firm of financial professionals devoted to empowering you to make informed financial decisions. Whether you are already retired, near retirement, own a business, or just getting started with your career, we are here to serve you on your financial journey. We're dedicated to helping you feel financially confident because you deserve to enjoy your wealth today, tomorrow, and through retirement. Visit us at www.bridgewhatmatters.com to see what we can do for you. Investment advisor representative and registered representative of securities and investment advisor services offered through Voya Financial Advisors Incorporated, members SIPC. Bridge Investment Group is not a subsidiary of nor controlled by Voya Financial Advisors.
Just under 11 minutes to go in the second half of this Middle Border Conference bout between the Amery Warriors and Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. BW with a 10-point lead, 37-27, as Luchtenberg will bring it up for the Warriors. In for the Warriors, Gavin Melberg, number 4. Offsteal knocked that pass away from Luchtenberg. White will gather, dish it to Luchtenberg, and Luchtenberg's fouled. Fritz with his third foul. 4th. So Cam Thompson will relieve Fritz of his duties.
Yeah, you're going to have nights like that as a freshman. Whoa. He tripped over his teammate. Maybe not.
5 team fouls already in this second half for the Blackhawks.
Yeah, sloppy game.
Tough shot there by Goker is no good.
That's not legal.
He'll go up and come back down with it, and that will be a traveling violation for the Warriors. Sloppy game tonight between these two teams, but Hawks prevailing thus far on the good shooting of Dylan Caro, among others.
Yeah, I think that's been the story. I mean, he's got 16 of the games 64. He's got a quarter of the points of all the points scored. Logan is a good passer. but there's oftentimes passes that he tries to make that just aren't there. A bounce pass there probably would have been resulted in a basket, but the chest pass did not work.
Thompson will inbound to Hush. One-handed bounce pass to Thompson on the opposite wing from Hush. Ball moving quite quickly around the court for the Hawks, and Hush will fire it between Offsey's legs. And the ball will go back to Amery. Comparing the energy in the gym tonight to that of last Friday, quite a different tick when it comes to thinking about the St. Clair Central ball in the Woodville game.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you were going to compare the energy tonight to that of an empty gym.
No. No, not one either team's probably going to write home vote tonight, but 9:29 left in the second half. Hawks looking to extend their 10-point lead. They're up 37-27.
It's the old comfortable enough lead that it never feels close, but can't ever pull ahead to make it a really fun. Everybody's getting minutes, and the amount of whistles that are being blown really messes with the flow of the game. Like there's no flow. Like, I'm not blaming that on the officials, but goodness, let them play a little bit more so we can feel like there's a flow to this game.
Deep inbounds pass from under the basket to Carroll. Once again, the ball moving quickly around the court for the Hawks. Feeding under the basket.
Not
Will
too deep.
Step on the line as he tries to find Offsey.
And so the court awareness may be down a little bit when you step out of bounds, but what he did really well there is create space between him and the ball, where you make yourself available because of your spacing. And so, unfortunately, he stepped on the baseline and was called out of bounds, but good awareness to get enough space where you can get that pass.
Pressure in the full court this time for the Hawks. Krasinski will have that one intercepted by Thompson. Pressure forcing the turnover.
We could turn this team over almost every possession, I feel like, if we did that.
Score remains 37-27, 10-point game.
Too close.
Over halfway through this second half. No points in a while for either team.
The view that you get at home on your phones or on your smart TVs or devices or whatever, obviously a very similar view to what we see, and it's higher up than anybody else in the gym. And it's often hard to tell with spacing when you're in the stands, especially if you're lower towards the court. But I think you can maybe see what we're talking about some of those times with the lack of spacing.
So Dayton White will go to the free throw line to shoot two. First one, nothing but net. Pulls the Warriors within single digits once again. 9-point deficit for Amery.
White's got 4 tonight.
Mason Werner checking in the game
Yeah, I like it.
for Cam Thompson.
Yeah, he's ready for the stage.
Brings me joy to see him. Some meaningful varsity action as Krasinski will get the offensive rebound and he'll knock it in, and it's a 7-point game just like that. 37-30, Hawks in the lead by only 7. Werner will bring it up for ball to Woodville.
This is where Dylan and Keegan, as the senior and junior, with lots of experience, need to step up and say, we're going to get one here.
Lots of bodies around Kunin on the post there. He'll think about penetrating. He'll find Caro.
Get back. attack that. If Keegan attacks that gap again like he did before, and then kicks it out to Dylan, attack the gap but stop short where you can go in front of him and then kind of provide a screen on your pass. Dylan gets a wide open look. There's nobody else there.
Aggressive defense on the block will result in a foul for Flanham, as they're surrounding Coonan on the post there, and Goker and Leuchtenberg will check in.
Getting off out of the game right now with a 7-point deficit surprises me a little bit. I wonder if he'll get right back in, if it's just a quick.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Lumen isn't even having off to sit down at the moment.
All right, Keegan. Good pass.
And
Not a great pass.
kick out by Coonan knocked away, intended for Mason Werner, and the Amery Warriors will turn the Hawks over once again. Krasinski thought about an entry pass to Flanham, but he'll get it to Jolson. We'll get it to Goker. Krasinski on a back cut under the basket. Nice contest there by Coonan. And that's going to ricochet off of Goker and stay with the Blackhawks.
Tomorrow night, the Blackhawks girls will host the Ellsworth Panthers in a big game in regards to seeding. So you can join us tomorrow night for that. JV will tip it. Well, we'll inbound at 5:45, and Varsity should be somewhere around 7:15. Look for it on our YouTube channel.
Turnaround, mid-range shot, no good, but Coonan will get called for a push. Going the other way, Hawks' 6th team foul. 7th team foul, and Amery's going to shoot 1-on-1 to bring it within 5 potentially. Yeah, tomorrow night's game, would that be almost a shoe-in if the Blackhawks win for a 2 seed in their region?
You know, it's hard to say because Altoona's got a worse record. Altoona's got a worse record, but they beat Somerset and beat Richmond. So I don't know where they slot in. I think that it almost guarantees. They beat Somerset. Our girls beat Somerset. I think it would assure them staying out of the 4-5 game, with the potential of maybe getting a 2 seed. But I think locks them into that 2-3. There we go.
Strong move underneath by Eli Coonan on the entry from Carroll. 39-30, 9-point lead for the Blackhawks.
One more.
Werner will slow it down for BW. Pass almost stolen there on the pass from Sim
There it
to
is.
Werner. Keegan Offsey, good from the left wing. Needed that and got it from the junior 3-point shooter.
Keegan's got 9.
42-30. Hawks in the lead. Full timeout. Coach Lumen of Amery.
Quick shout out to all of our sponsors: A-Star, American Family Insurance, Firehelm Langer, Timmerman Realtors, St. Croix Garage Doors, Wisconsin Credit Union, CW Garage Door Distribution, Nielsen's Foods, Village Pharmacy, Bridge Investment Group, Precision Excavating Enterprises, Precision Truck Service, Danmar Systems, Culvers of Baldwin, Progressive Dairy, Schaefer Financial Services, Blackhawk Garage Door, O'Connell Funeral Homes, First Bank of Baldwin, Baldwin Lightstream, Strikers Lane Sports Bar, and Anytime Fitness. You can also on our YouTube channel find a little something that Jordan and I have been doing in our free time, which is not often, but we've got about 6 episodes up of what we call the Western Wisconsin Sports Podcast. Don't have one up yet of this week. We had a coach that say he would do it, and then hasn't said he won't do it, but he's not real timely in his email responses. So on our last episode, we looked at, kind of previewed the WIA playoffs, the upcoming playoffs, as they will be in this odd year. One thing of note, the WIA did decide yesterday that the state tournaments, though there has not been a location determined yet, will take place in 2 places. So there'll be like a maybe 2 divisions on Friday, and then 3 divisions on Saturday. So you'll have one. That was a violation. Where you'll like alternate. So every game will be televised. It sounds like, and it should be a lot of fun. It'll be different, but it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's getting to be that time of the year. Almost February, and after February is March. And March Madness it's one of the best times of the year, as Coach Benoit will take a timeout.
Yep. So the other thing too, when we talk about March Madness, is the NCAA tournament, which is always phenomenal. Right. This year's tournament will still consist of 68 teams, but it's all going to take place in Indianapolis.
Right.
So, the other weird thing is the first round, like the opening Thursday, is actually going to be Friday. It's going to go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then the following weekend won't go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It'll go Friday, Saturday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Nice left-handed finish by Eli Kunin, pushes the Blackhawk lead to 14.
Eli's got a quiet 8 tonight, so it'll be different. But ultimately, I think everybody wants that tournament to happen. There has been some talk about teams like the Badgers potentially opting out of the Big Ten tournament. They feel like they will get to the end of the season, and have a resume strong enough to guarantee being included in the field.
Strong take by White.
And if they're going to be included in the field, why risk exposure by going to Chicago or wherever that Big Ten tournament will take place?
Sure.
So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen here in the next 6 weeks, not only in the state but nationally, and as it pertains to the world of basketball.
All as the inevitable result of Jalen Suggs bringing home a national championship to Minneapolis and then getting drafted.
By not the Timberwolves. He's fun to watch, though.
Super fun. So is Gonzaga. They're the real deal. Baylor's really good, but Gonzaga's the real deal. Badgers are a Elite 8 at best team this year, but they'll still be fun to cheer for.
Is Cam on the bench? Or is he must be checking in.
He is checking in. Was on the bench for about 4 minutes there. Mason Werner with some extended run late in this game. Going to work once again is Kunin. That's going to be blocked by Krasinski.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
Ticky-tack foul there on Mason Werner. Not a call he's thrilled about. And Cam Thompson will check in for Sam Hush as Werner remains on the court.
I believe
I'm
Billy
very happy to see.
Billy Raftery would call that a nickel dimer.
I like that. Once again, if it's good, steal it, and I might have to. Fritzy, the freshman, will check in, so it runs right now. Freshman, sophomore, junior, and Dylan Carroll, the lone senior for the Blackhawks.
There we go.
Carroll will go to the elbow. Oh, just off front iron. Real nice looking shot there for Dylan. Ops going to try to go coast to coast, and he'll have that one just taken away by Opsy. Will roll off his knee back to the Amery Warriors. And that deep three is good by Jolson. Pulls Amery within 9.
That's just...
But that's Wilt Chamberlain stuff
golly.
By the junior Opsy.
And then the ball bounces and falls. Like, that's just...
Carroll will curl, dish it out to Opsy. He'll show it and put it on the ground, eventually getting it to Cam Thompson. Cam Thompson will pick it up and put it back down again for a double dribble violation as Flanham checks back in for the Amery Warriors.
Yep, sloppy game. That's what it is.
It is.
And nobody's thrilled about it. I mean, players aren't going to love it. Coaches aren't going to love it. We don't love it. Fans don't love it. Like,
A win is a win is a win is a win.
Let's just get out the door with
and
the
the
win.
Hawks want to get a win. They all count the same.
Yeah, these are just the ones that feel like I gotta go home and shower after that, you know?
Yep. Working the ball is Dylan Caro on the right wing. Mason Werner, long two, short. Dylan Keegan-Offs is going to take that away from everybody else, and he'll finish. And one opportunity for the junior, Keegan-Offs. C decides to use his all-conference linebacker strength to just take that away from anybody who was interested in it. Finishes the three-point play, does Offsey. Pulls the Hawks ahead by 12 with under 2 minutes left in this Middle Border Conference matchup. Off from three in the right corner. Off to the right, Luchtenberg will come down with it. And Luchtenberg will try the reverse layup, no good. Brought down by Oft, and he'll finish through contact. 10-point game now. Warriors down 37-47.
Oft has 15. I'm like I mentioned earlier, I'm impressed with his game.
Kurchinski will get called for the body, and Cam Thompson will shoot 1-1. Nothing but net for the junior. Cam Thompson this year, second on the team in scoring. Also second in assists. Second one in and out, but Keegan-Offs once again will make his presence known and just take that away. A minute left, 48-37. Hawks up by 11. And with the exception of some unforeseen circumstances, Baldwin Woodville will escape tonight with a lead.
Yep, this is one that you're not going to take a whole lot out of the film. You know, we talked about it just not being the most smooth game. That lacked a lot of flow, so you watch it so you have it, and you might point out a couple things, but you turn the page to, I believe, Monday.
Both of those free throws good for Cam Thompson. 50-37, 13-point lead. Just about 30 seconds left in this ball game. Luchtenberg patient with it. He'll shoot fading away and get pushed by Mason Werner, so he'll go to the line to shoot two. Quite a number of fouls called and committed tonight.
I think we've played 9 guys, and we've had 9 guys commit fouls.
Different crews will call games differently. And oftentimes the team that wins will adapt. Cam Thompson working against full court pressure here, off with a tough foul on Cam Thompson, and he'll shoot once again. Double bonus now for the Blackhawks. First one good for Cam Thompson as he pads his stats a little bit late here. Putting the final nails in the coffin of the Warriors tonight in Baldwin, Wisconsin.
Yeah, that gives Cam actually 7 on the night. He made 5 free throws late. I think we can probably assume Amery will get a shot and we'll dribble it out. Nope, Colin's going to fall out.
And Colin Fritz, for the first time in his high school basketball career, will foul out of a varsity contest.
Going to get Ian Peterson in.
Ian Peterson will check in for BW. Flannum's first is good. Puts the Warriors at 40.
First points of the night.
Second one for Flanham off to the right. And Luchtenberg will be fouled by Offsey.
Keegan's fourth.
Wyatt Luchtenberg at the line, shooting 2 for the Warriors. First one good.
Luchtenberg's got 8 on the night. Second on the team behind Off's 15. Tied with Krasinski, who also has 8.
Second one good for Luchtenberg. 10-point lead. 10 seconds left, and Oft will foul.
We're going to keep doing it, huh? We're going to keep fouling.
And we have over 20 fouls committed in this second half.
Goodness.
Cam Thompson, his stat line, thankful for the strategy.
You know, if it would have been Dylan, he would have got his 30.
Off the back iron is Cam Thompson's first. Under 10 seconds left. Just enough time for about 5 more possessions. Second one good for Cam Thompson. 53-42, and I think this might be the final possession of the ball game as Luchtenberg asks for a screen. He'll get it to Krasinski, and that'll be
the end.
Air ball and the end as the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks prevail 53-42 over the visiting Amery Warriors here in Baldwin, Wisconsin. BW goes to 5-8 on the season, 3-5 in conference. Amery falls to 2-10 and 1-9 in conference.
Just to go through the scoring quick, for the Blackhawks, Colin Fritz 5, Cam Thompson 8, Clay Lorenz 2, Dylan Carroll 18, Keegan Offsey 12, Eli Coonan 8 for the Amery Warriors. Luke Juleson 3, Dayton White 6, Charles Flanham 1, Jason Off 15, Wyatt Luchtenberg 9, and Michael Krasinski with 8. That'll do it for tonight here at the Baldwinville High School. Blackhawk TV, I'm Jeremy Nygaard, Jordan Lehman, Zach Ambrose, and we are signing off. Have a wonderful Thursday night, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night.